Today we're learning 7 steps to edit a video in DaVinci Resolve from scratch, start to finish. I've been doing this for over 20 years and I'm telling you, this is the best workflow. Let's do it. So we have DaVinci Resolve open and we have some footage that we've recorded for a gaming video imported. All you got to do is find your footage on your system and drag it into this media pool right here. If you need some video to play around with, I got you. There's a link in the description and you can download this gaming video footage for free and follow along with me. Practice your editing. Okay, it's down there. But you throw your footage into the media pool over here, and then you're kind of staring at this empty project going, oh, what do I do? Well, I made a handy dandy cheat sheet, and I'm not going to show you all of it yet.
Why?
Because we got to take this thing one at a time. 7 steps to a great edit. The very first thing we got to do is set our settings. So in DaVinci Resolve, it's very important that you get your settings right because that's going to set you up for success. It's going to make sure that your video is the highest quality and that there's nothing weird that happens. There are about a gajillion settings. These are the ones that are really important. All you have to do is go down to the lower right and click on this little settings cog thing. Once you do that, your project settings come up and there's a couple things we need to check out. One is your timeline resolution. What is the resolution that you actually want to make here? Now, if you're completely new to video production and you're like, I don't even know, just do 1920 by 1080 HD, call it good. But there are a lot of different resolutions to choose from. Most of the time, you're either going to be doing 1920 by 1080 or 3840 by 2160, depending on if you shot in a higher resolution camera. There's also the possibility that you're doing like a vertical video, in which case you just check this, use vertical resolution, and it just switches the 1080 and 1920, okay? The other thing you should really pay attention to is the frame rate here. This is how many frames per second your video is. This demo footage is game footage, which is usually at 60 frames a second. But this video that you're watching right now, this tutorial video, is 30 frames a second. If you're shooting a short film or something like that, that might be at 24 frames a second. Usually, you're going to want to set this the same as your main footage. If you don't know the frame rate of your footage, well, you can just go over here to your footage, right-click on it, and go down to Clip Attributes. That will bring this up and tell you exactly the video frame rate. And a quick note on this, I kind of skipped this part, but when you drag footage into this media pool for the first time in an empty project, it's going to ask you if you want to change that frame rate to match your footage, and usually you do. Either way, however you get to it, make sure that your resolution and your frame rate are set. Everything else, it doesn't really matter that much, except for 2 little things. If you scroll part of the way down here, in this master settings, there is a section called Optimized Media and Render Cache. But just be advised, we're going to come back to this. The other thing I would set up is your color management. That's this part right here. Go ahead and click on that. And this is going to be all the nerdy color management settings. Now, color management is a huge old topic and probably much deeper than we need to get into in this video. I do have a video on color management right there. So check that out if you want details, but this is where you set that color management. And long story short, if you're shooting in a log format, a camera that shoots that kind of gray, flat looking video that you have to color correct, you're going to want to set this color science to DaVinci YRGB color managed. And for now, let's just say you can leave it like that. Hit save. Once you have your settings set, then you're ready to get to work. So what do we do after that? Well, the second step is make proxies. Now, this is actually somewhat optional because it depends on how fast your computer runs. Open up your footage, double click on it like this, and that'll open it up in this viewer right here. And then take the playhead and scrub back and forth like this. And if it doesn't move really, really quickly, like there's no lag at all when you scrub that, if it doesn't move like that, make proxies. This seems to work just fine for me. There's no problem scrubbing through this at all. And so I'm not going to worry about making proxies. But if it kind of lags and like you move it like this and it goes tink, you want to make things easier on your computer because every time you move that playhead, you're going to have to wait just like a millisecond, just a little bit, and it adds up over thousands of movements over your video project. So if you have any lag at all, you want to make proxies. What the heck are proxies? Well, this video is a certain video format. It has a resolution, it has a frame rate, and it has compression. And the combination of all of those things can make it either difficult or easy for your computer to play back while you're editing. And so what we want to do, if we're having any trouble playing it back at all, is convert all of these videos into a format that is the exact same timing, but it's much easier to play back and edit. And this sounds like a lot of work. It's so easy. The first thing we're going to do, we only have to do once. We're going to go down to our settings. Remember, I told you we would be coming back here. Master settings, halfway down, optimize media and render cache. These two things right here, proxy media resolution and proxy media format. You can choose all different kinds of different video compression and formats and everything for your proxies. If you don't know what any of this means, do this. Select ProRes 422 proxy, like that. Proxy media resolution, pick half, okay? Just set it to that. If you know more about formats and things like that, feel free to pick something else. Hit save, and then we're gonna go up here, select all of our footage, right click, and go down to proxy media, generate proxy media. And what that's gonna do is take a few minutes and make a copy of each of these video clips. Then it's gonna take that copy that's easier to play back, and it's gonna switch them out and open those in Resolve. And when you do that, there's going to be a little thing that pops up that has a render bar on it. It's just going to take a couple minutes, and then you never have to do it again. Walk away, go get some coffee, come back in a minute. But after it's done with that, we'll have these proxies. I'm going to go up and close this inspector because that will give me this little button right here that says HQ. I can go down here and switch to prefer proxies. Check this out. Now we have a version of our shot that does not look as good, but it's okay because really what we're looking for is just the timing here. We just want to make this easy to edit. And so depending on how fast your computer is, you might need to make a really small proxy, or maybe you can get away with one that's a little bigger. But that's the idea, is you want this really smooth experience when you scrub through your footage. And I'll switch back to prefer camera originals because it's prettier. What's number 3? Bigs. Okay, this step is where we really get to work. And here's the key. I want you to think about the big picture. The stuff in your video that absolutely has to be there in some way. If there's an interview, you got to put the interview in. If there's a shot of the house, you got to put the shot of the house in. We want to get all of the great big chunks and put them into our video. Okay, so for our gaming video, I'm just going to use 2 of these clips, the gaming vid cam only and the gaming vid screen only. And I'll select both of these, right click and say create new timeline using selected clips. That's going to make a new timeline. I'll just call this edit and hit create. And if I hit Shift Z, I can zoom all the way out and I have my first clip and my second clip here in the timeline. I'm going to take a second here and right click on this clip, go up to clip color and change this color just so it's easy for us to see the difference in the clips. Okay. So these are the 2 big pieces that are going to be in our gaming video. We have the actual game footage and we have the camera. And during this step, we're going to be working on the big things, the big problems, the big features. We're not going to get super detailed and figure out a perfect intro with perfect music and perfect little bling, 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 anything like that. We're talking about the great, big, important aspects of our video that we need to have in there. So what do we need? Well, we need the gaming footage and we need the camera over it. So I'm going to take this footage here and let's just grab the audio and drag that down a couple of tracks. And then let's put this over this track like this. Let's just delete this second video track. Right clicking on the track header, hitting delete track. So now we have the camera in the layer over our screen. Now we're going to work on the great big problems here. One is we have our camera over the screen, but we can't see the screen. So in Resolve, what we can do is select this clip in the timeline, go up and open our inspector, and we can take this zoom property and just drag that to the left. And now we have kind of a picture in picture here. We can adjust the position just by clicking and dragging on these numbers, and we'll just put this down in the lower corner. Great. We can also crop it. Let's just crop the right side a little bit. Again, this is the great big things. Like if we had to render this, it would be okay. We're not trying to make it beautiful. Then if we play this back, oh no, oh gosh, the audio and the video aren't really synced up. We're hearing my voice when I'm not talking in this camera because what's happening in these tracks doesn't actually match what's happening in these tracks because we didn't sync them up. So that's a big problem. One great thing about DaVinci Resolve, just kind of squish these down here, is you can select all of these, right click and go auto align clips. And if each clip has some kind of recording of the same thing, whether you could hear the game audio through my microphone or whether the screen recording recorded my microphone or anything like that, if there's anything that it can kind of hear the same thing on both clips, it can match those up. So we'll just say synchronize using waveform using track number 1. Okay, sync, and it'll analyze and sync it up. Now let's see if this works. Oh gosh. Can we scare him away? Yep, looks good, sounds good, everything is synced up. And really during this third step, what we're doing is looking for the great big need to fix problems. Don't move on until you're out of really big problems. So big problem here is we have this big space, and so we need to trim the beginning of our clip. What's up today? Okay, So I can trim each of these clips to start right there. Select this empty space and hit delete on the keyboard. That'll move everything over here to the left.
What's up today?
So that our video actually starts at 0. The other big problem is there's a little bit of echo.
Today we are playing The Flame in the
Doesn't sound good. The reason for that is because our camera only
Flood. This is one of my favorite games.
Is using the camera audio, which we don't really want in there because it just sounds echoey. So what I can do is hold Alt and select this clip right here, and then I'm just going to hit backspace on the keyboard. That's going to get rid of that extra dialogue. And now we just have the really nice dialogue that came through my microphone on the screen recording, but we have the camera synced up because we use that camera audio to sync it up.
And boy, I'm not that great at survival games, but I love this.
Great. That sounds a lot better. But we still have another big problem. The game audio is too loud. So let's open up this track a little bit and take this volume line right here and just drag that down to like -20 or so.
Not that great at survival games, but I love this
game. So now we've quickly fixed a bunch of big problems. And if I had to render this out right now, it might not be perfect. It might not be the best video ever. There could still be some medium or small problems, but you could still watch this playthrough of the game and it would be enjoyable and it wouldn't be horrible. That's the point that you want to get to on step 3, the bigs.
Mr. Big.
So what's next? Number 4, smalls. Make stuff flow. We've dealt with the big problems here. The great news is that we're home free. Now it's time to go through and actually make sure that we like the content, make sure that we like our edit. And so as I'm watching through my edit, there might be a point that's kind of boring where we're just kind of waiting and nothing's happening. We can cut that part out. If I hit Control// on the keyboard, I can cut all of the tracks right where the playhead is, and I'll cut it right there too. And I can select all of these clips and then hit delete. And that's going to move all of these clips this way and get rid of that space, and it will just cut to later. And so this is a great time to go through and make this edit shorter. Find the parts that are interesting and keep those parts, and find the parts that are boring and get rid of those parts. You're just going to make it better. These are the medium problems. These are things that aren't awfully essential, but certainly make the video better when you're cutting out kind of boring fluff. So I'm going to go through here and just kind of mock this up, pretend that we went through and had just a great time and we're very careful about how we did our edit. Okay, now we have an edit that is 6 minutes long instead of 9. And so we're done with our smalls. And now it's time to do the picky pass. This is the point where I see new people actually starting sometimes. They skip all of this and they go right into the picky pass. That is a horrible idea. But now that we've done all of this, this is a great thing to do because again, we're home free. We have this video that is already interesting. We've cut out the parts that are boring. There's no major problems. You can see and hear things pretty well. And now it's time to do things where you might zoom in and you go, you know what? This little part would actually be better if it were just a few frames shorter. And it would actually be great if right here when I was saying something that it zoomed into my camera. And so I can select this clip and reset the transform and reset the crop, maybe even zoom in a little bit. So it kind of makes this edit where it goes to my face for a second and then it goes back to the game. These are the little things that just add spice. These are the things that make something that's already good better. This is the point where you would add titles and graphics and memes and all the things that you would add to make your video more interesting. The stuff that isn't essential, but it's fun. You're getting really picky about all the little details. So you'd go through, maybe you'd cut out another 20 seconds or so just because you noticed some more things, you're trying things out, you're moving things around, you're adding graphics and you're stylizing things and all of this stuff that's just the icing on the cake. And now you have a video that really feels great as far as the content on the edit page. Okay, the edit feels good. You're not planning on adding more elements or anything like that. Everything's there. Then, and only then, would I recommend moving on to step 6, which is sound and color. This, if you're coming from other software or if you're brand new to Resolve for some reason, this is where Resolve just really shines. Because not only can you put together an edit here in the edit page, but we have these other kind of specialty pages that are designed to really polish different aspects of your video. The one next to the edit page is Fusion, and I have tons of videos on Fusion. That's where you make graphics and you make visual effects and, explosions and lightsabers and all kinds of cool stuff for your videos. I have so much content on that, as much as you possibly want. But if you're talking about like a typical workflow for most videos, you might need to get into Fusion, but you're definitely going to do color and Fairlight. If you click into the color page, it's going to take your whole timeline and open it in color mode. And this is where you can get really picky with how your images look. All you have to do is click on a clip. That'll bring it up here in the viewer. And then you can use these various tools here to adjust your color. So let's say, for instance, I want this to be a little bit brighter. I can push this curve up. I can add a little bit of saturation. I could even change the white balance if I want to. And again, this is a whole huge thing. I also have plenty of videos on how the heck color works if you're brand new to color grading. It is really, really fun, by the way. But this is the point where you would go through and look at all of your clips and make sure that you like how they look visually. And if you're making a movie, you're making sure that the shots match together and feel cohesive. Kind of a similar thing in Fairlight. When we switch over to Fairlight, this opens this timeline in super detailed audio mode. This is where you can get in and really get crazy with your audio and do things like adjust the details of certain words and add effects and use equalizers to make your audio sound better. Now, if either the color or the Fairlight page seems overwhelming, you're not alone. Each one of these pages is like its own amazing, fully fledged app. And it takes a while to get used to it and learn it. The great news is you don't have to know that much. I do have some basics videos on each of these pages. Just search my name and then color or Fairlight, and it'll come up. But that's step 6 out of 7 is sound and color. You're going through on the color page and the Fairlight page and making sure things look and sound how you want. Once all of this is done, then we're going to render. Rendering is taking the timeline that you've built inside of Resolve and converting it into a video that can be shown to a client or sent to somebody's email or uploaded to YouTube or any other way that you would experience a video. It's kind of the equivalent of printing something. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this video and we're going to say, all right, I'm ready to put this on YouTube or wherever you're going to put it. And we do that by going down here to this deliver page right here. So click on deliver, and that's going to open up that same timeline here in the deliver page. And there's a couple things to pay attention to here. On the left is our render settings. If you don't know anything about rendering, or anything like that, just scroll over and pick the output that makes sense to you. So if you're going to make YouTube, click on YouTube like that. Name it something called My Edit. Location, hit browse. We'll just put this on the desktop and then go down here and say add to render queue. When you click that, it's going to add your timeline to this render queue. So this is like a to-do list for Resolve. And when you're ready, you can just hit render all like this. Boop. And it's going to go through and convert your video from all the different clips that you used and all of the elements and sound effects and everything that you added. And it's going to put them all together as one video that you can use. And after that, you're finished. And once it's all done thinking about it and rendering it out, boop, it's all done. It'll say completed up here, right click, open file location. And here's my edit.mp4, double click on it. Now's the time that you want to watch it through and make sure that the render worked. Every once in a while, something crazy happens and you want to make sure that everything is A-okay. And at that point, you're done with your video. If you like this little cheat sheet, you want to get one for yourself, you can print out your own. We have this available in our Media Vault, which is a huge collection of practice footage and media that you can use to learn Resolve and video editing and color grading and compositing and visual effects and graphics and all of those things. In fact, we'll just put a link right here and a link down below. Okay? Thanks for hanging with me. I really appreciate it. Hope you learned a lot. And tell me your favorite thing in the comments because I want to know about it. All right? Or if something didn't make sense, maybe you could let me know that. And then maybe I'll do another video and help it make sense. Because that's how YouTube works.